Right, let's start again. Let us start again. So, we can cut this. For those who are live, you know exactly what's happened. For those who didn't know, well, there we go. So let's start again. So today's all about how to sell personal training online via sales calls, right? So I don't like the word sales call, but we are going to talk about how we sell over the phone, because I think it's really important to build that relationship today. We've got to build that relationship where it's real. A lot of people are pushing you to drive to sales to DMs, messages, sell via chat on messages. Yes, that can help start the conversation, but when you're working with high ticket personal training clients, you want to be over the phone or ideally over a Zoom call to create some rapport with some kind of like relationship with the people before you start working with them. So today is our strategy of how we use strategy calls with our clients to pull them in without feeling salesy over the phone. So let's dive straight on with a new software with sound that actually works this time. Fingers crossed. So how to sell personal training over the phone. Now, there's three things we're going to work towards and learn today. That's number one is understand why we use the free strategy call, what's the purpose of it, and how we deploy it here at Strength Matters and Cricket Matters. Number two is the 10 key stages of a strategy call. These are stages and it's a framework. It's not a script. Right? It's got to be a framework where you work within to sound non-salesy. It's got to sound realistic when you're working with people over the phone too, but it gives you a framework to base everything you're talking about on. And number three is we're going to give you tips and strategies on how to deploy it and use it within your business. Now, first and foremost, the first thing you're going to do is download the free strategy call playbook that goes with this. All you're going to do is go to strengthmatters.com/playbook, or quicker is WhatsApp. Add this number, message us playbook, and we'll send you an automated message that comes back to you with the actual book itself. So that's probably the quickest and easiest way to do it. But like I said, you could go alternatively to strengthmatters.com/playbook, but that'll be a big help in going through this whole call process today. Now, what is a free strategy call? Well, it's essentially the initial step in the client discovery process, right? It's the initial step when clients are thinking about making the leap, taking that leap, and starting to work with you. So you've got to then, when they take this leap, you've got to start to qualify them. You've got to qualify them to make sure they're the right fit for your business, but also you've got to earn their trust, right? In kind of 15 minutes or less. Yes, it's quite a short call. Now, sometimes they're ready to buy and they'll buy with you from you straight away, but most of the times, people are going to need to learn a bit more about you, how you work, and they've got to earn the right to start doing business with you. You can't just say, yes, I'll take everybody on board, because the wrong people can do a whole world of damage to your business, and I can be testimony to that over the years many times. So they're important because they reduce time wasted on unqualified prospects. We're trying to set the scene here now where the people who are coming to you are literally people who are red hot buyers wanting to buy from you straight away, right? So we're going to reduce time and wasted people, time wasters altogether. And we want to make sure we have a high conversion rates in our sales. That means when they get on the phone with them, we are going to convert them to sales straight away. So it's the whole process of reducing time, particularly if you're in person and you're working with people in person to come to you too. So the goal strategy is basically to efficiently qualify prospects quickly, build trust, and focus sales efforts on high quality leads. It's not just like the sheer volume of leads coming in, it's about the quality of the leads coming in. And that's a key aspect of what we're trying to talk about. Now, I'm going to tell you this very clearly now. You've got to get them excited, right, before they start working with you. Before they come on a strategy call, they have to understand who you are, what you're doing, and get a flavor for the type of business that you run. So what I mean by that is there's a reason why we do webinars like this. There's a reason why we do blog posts. There's a reason why we do podcasts and we do short videos on social media. We're trying to create this flavor of who we are to work with. I want you guys to get a feeling so you know, like, and trust me. So you feel, hey, I want James to come and help me. Or the same as with our clients, with our cricket clients. They want to see me coaching, how I'm helping them, give them tips and advice so they understand what I'm doing. So the point is, you can do a free strategy call on your website, but if you're not creating valuable content to what we call pre-sell them into the idea of working with you, then it's going to go awry. Okay, you've got to focus on this idea of creating this persona, this person that's real, right? That's authentic and genuine, because when they jump on the strategy call, they should be red hot buyers wanting to do business with you. Okay, so that's a really important thing. So don't just think about just having this strategy call that's going to solve all your problems. It's not. You've got to have this idea of you're you're creating content that's valuable to them so they can want to work with you and you understand what you work with them. And we'll talk about that a bit more afterwards. So we talk about this idea of pre-qualifying. I'll give you a couple of examples here. This is, I know it's quite small on the screen, but if you can have a look at it, this is the form you have to fill out to start working with Strength Matters as an example. It's name, email address, name, what best describes you, because we want to know if they're a fitness professional, health professional, or an everyday athlete. Because if they're an everyday athlete, we don't tend to want to work with them these days, right? But this is how we start the pre-qualification process. We put a list of things on the list here now, but then we go into more depth where we ask, well, what's your current monthly revenue? Okay, what's your monthly marketing budget? We know to people to work with us for the high level ticket service that we offer, we need to be at least a minimum $5,000 a month coming in, right? Ideally around the $15,000 a mark to get value of the services we tend to offer, right? And we also need to know what their marketing budget is, because if it's less than $250, then we have an issue because they're not going to get very far. They need to do other stuff to get them ready to come start working with us. So we don't want to waste their time and we don't want to waste our time. The same applies to our Cricket Matters system as well. Right, I asked a straight up question on the form, well, the new form that's going live on the website this week, where like, can you afford to spend $1,000 working with us over the course of 12 weeks? It's a very clear, blunt question because I want to know that they can afford that services before they come on the strategy call. If they can, great, we can have a talk about it and we'll show how it's non-sales in a second, but we've got to get these questions right to begin with to make sure that we're not having time wasters who have only got $20 to work with us, right? Send them to an ebook, send them to like an app from someone else if you want to, or your own if you have it. But the idea is we've got to pre-qualify them, and this is kind of how we do it with Strength Matters. And when I show the new website for Cricket Matters in a future episode, you can see how we pre-qualify leads coming in there too. So the structure of the strategy call, I can't even speak properly. The structure of a strategy call is this 10-step framework. Number 1, build rapport. Number 2, set expectations for the call. Number 3 is why me, why now. Number 4 is establish goals. Number 5 is what's holding them back. Number 6 is what help do they need. Number 7 is the priority scale of 1 to 10. This is our version of the priority scale. And why not a lower number, which I mean by our version. Number 9 is a recap of what I've just said. And number 10, are they a fit or no fit? Now you can't see that past my head, but the point is that's the 10-step framework, and we'll dive into this step by step now. All right, so number 1, build rapport. As I have a sip, am I still with everybody? Is everyone still with me? Can they all hear me clearly? Has all the software issues disappeared? I hope so. I really do. So give me a thumbs up, a little checkbox in the comments below. And that'll be really useful. I've just come back from cricket practice, so I'm a bit thirsty here at the same time. So, build rapport. Very simple. Welcome them to the call and ask a simple question to build rapport. This depends on what they're doing and where they're from. So what do we have here? We have, this is kind of like the mini script you'll see in the book. Hey, it's blah, blah, blah from blah, blah. Hey, it's James from Strength Matters. How are you today? Have I got you at a bad time? Most important, we don't say have we got you a good time. We say have we got you at a bad time. Bad time leads to a double negative, which means no, it's perfect. We're all booked in. It's a sneaky little psychology play we're doing here now. So we always start with, have I got you at a bad time? Make sure it's all good, because if I have got my bad time, it's okay. I can say to them, hey, should we reschedule? Because sometimes when people book on the call, they have all the intention to be there, sitting at home on Zoom with you, but then life happens and they're in the car. And that's a bad time to speak to people, tend to be. So it allows you to reset the framework and allows you to reschedule the call to a more convenient time. All right, so it just gives you that opportunity here. So very simple. How are you today? Talk about the weather. Where are you from? I tend to ask people where they're from. Or if I've been there, say I've never been there before, vice versa. That's kind of my rapport building, or something similar. But you've got to play this and take this by. This is a bit of intuition, how you do it. Number 2, set expectations. We've got to set clear expectations from the start and focusing the conversation into helping them, right? Most of these times, these things go on for ages. We want to focus their time, be respectful for their time, show them that they have to respect your time too, and we're going to focus in the conversation. So how do we do that? Well, very simple. I've got scheduled for a free strategy call today. We only have 15 minutes and I have another call right after that. It's something how you play, so you'll have to keep the time. Is that okay? Right, or you can just say, hey guys, we've got 50 minutes in the diary. Let's make this work. Let's make this happen. Is that okay with you? Cool. Right. So I'm going to ask a few questions, and I'm going to try and work out what's happening and give you some practical advice so you can take away with your training, with your business, blah blah blah. And if I can't help you, I'll let you know politely that I can't help you, or if we can help you, we'll try and maybe schedule in for another time. But the whole point today is I'm not trying to sell you anything, right? This phrase in the middle, I'm not trying to sell you anything today. You need to get that out because that's the whole purpose. It's a two-step process. I'm not trying to sell you anything today. You want to be there and you want to be helpful in the whole process, right? Help them first, and then we can ask them book in for another call later on. So set up those expectations. 15 minutes and you're not going to sell them anything today. And it comes up with very simple, like understanding what they need. Like why they help? Why do they need help now? Why now? Why are they considering your services? So very simply, so Jane or Josh, okay, who's on the call here today, tell me why me, why now? Why do you want to start working with us? And let them talk. Just let them talk. It's all about listening at this stage, right? Why me, why now? Let's learn more about what they want to do and why they've considered working with you in the first place. Because then, once we learn about that, we can help them establish their goals. So what are their goals? What are you trying to achieve? So they've said, why me, why now? So the idea is to like pre-sell them again into the idea of like they want to work with us. So therefore, that's why they're on the call today. Then we start building on what's their goals, right? So ignore the build rapport bit. That's an error we've realized in the book. So we're going to fix that soon. But the idea is what's your goal and what are you trying to achieve? Because we need to know where they're trying to go. What's their journey? What's the path? Because if we know where the destination is, we can create the steps to help them to get there. Then we need to know is what's holding them back, right? What's holding them back? What's holding them back from achieving it? What do they think is holding them back? Let them talk. Just let them talk and listen, right? Your whole purpose of this call is not for you to talk and tell how great you are. It's about showing that you care and you listen actively. Because at the end, you're going to recap everything of what they said to you and just say, have I got that right? And then you want to ask them, well, what help do they need today, right? Why do they need help from you? If they want to get to, let's say, run a marathon, right? Why they've considered you and your services. Well, why do you think they need your help, right? So what help do you think you need to achieve it? That's the question. You start this framework. Now again, see it's a framework, right? You're never going to fit this in step by step all the time. Sometimes you may skip a couple of steps. But the point is we've got a framework to start framing ideas and questions in and develop your style to this. But you need to have your style when you do it. So what help do they need? Because you need to know that because they've come to you for that help in the first place. And this is the most important bit, the priority scale. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is this goal to them, right? How important is this goal? So classic, if you want to achieve your marathon, how important is it to you? On a scale of 1 to 10, okay, it's an 8. Then you ask them, why not a lower number? Everyone tends to ask them, why not a 10, right? Why not a 10? The point is, if you frame it in a why not a lower number, it gets them thinking outside the box. Well, no one's really asked me that before. It's a ploy we use in psychology within the police, right? Quite a lot, and it's something I've taken over to every consultation call that I use. Okay, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want to work with us? Okay, an 8. Well, why not a lower number? Well, because blah, blah, blah. Well, why? It allows you to ask 3 more whys after that to really dig into the deep core reasons of why they're here with you in the first place. It gets them thinking. They're pre-selling themselves and thinking about what's going on themselves, right? We're sounding helpful. We're not sounding pushy and salesy. We're just getting to think about why they picked up the phone to speak to you in the first place, right? So why not a lower number? So irrespective of the number, always ask this question. It's a powerful psychological aspect in play here. We only want to work with 7s and above ideally, but sometimes when you ask them, well, how about a 5 or 6? Well, why not a lower number? And then they tend to change it back up. But the point is, if they're not motivated to work with you, then you don't particularly want to work with them because it's going to be just a hard labor of love, essentially, the entire time. And then, from those 8 kind of steps, you just recap. You want to recap and just summarize what they've said. So basically, I've been listening to you intently is the best way to put it. Like you told me you want to run a marathon in under 4 hours, but you're currently running at about 5 hours. You're a little bit overweight, so you need some help, but you feel that you haven't got the guidance or the accountability that you need some help. Is that right, Josh or Joe Blogs? Yes. Okay, cool. So it sounds like we can potentially help, right? Because when you recap to them and you go into this fit or no fit, are they a good fit for you or not? And that's really important, right? Because sometimes you'll be listening to people on these strategy calls and you go, I do not want to work with them at all. And that's okay. You want to be very clear with who you want to work with. For us, we want to work with highly motivated business owners. We want to work with highly motivated cricket players who want to play better, right, and perform better on the field. I'm not interested because I haven't got the patience with people who are, I might do this, I might do that. I just don't want to work with them. It just drives me insane, and it becomes a labor of love, and it's a problematic for all parties involved. So we want to work with people who are a good fit, and we've got to decide. So if yes, it's a good fit, we then arrange for a further discovery call. This is in particularly if it's in person, right? So when we're working with clients in person here in Cardiff at Cricket Matters, I'll get a 15-minute call with them. Cool, that sounds pretty good. Well, let's jump in for the free discovery session. Come down and meet me at the cricket centre, at the training centre, and then we can discuss from there and see what the plan is. Because if I'm going to work with somebody in person, I want to meet them in person first, right? So we can have a little bit of an idea together. So 30-minute, 45-minute discovery session, particularly if I know that I'm going to work towards a longer plan and I know they need a longer term plan, I think that 45 minutes is invaluable. If you're working with selling people online, sometimes you can sell it after that 15-minute call. You can just say to them, hey, look, I know we have 15 minutes, but you want to get started now? Yeah, cool, let's do it. I'll send you a couple of emails, the payment links, get started, and away you go. Sometimes people are red hot and they're ready to get started. Even this, sometimes you don't even need in person a free discovery call, but you've got to offer it at least. Because sometimes they'll say to you, I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to get going, get started. I'm all in. Okay, but you've got to have that as an option for that 45-minute discovery call as a secondary thing to create these barriers between you guys. All right? Just think of a doctor. You don't go and see a doctor straight away in the house unless it's A&E. That's a bit different. But your normal doctor, you've got to book an appointment, you've got to go in, you've got to schedule it. Same with a chiro, same with a dentist. We want to create this persona, this kind of feeling with you and your coaching as well. All right? So good. Yes, it's a good fit, or no, it's not a good fit. Thank them for their time and suggest an alternative. That's okay. If they're not a good fit, suggest an alternative. Say, hey, it's okay. You can go and work with Joe Bloggs down the road. That's fine. All right? So it's kind of like a very quick intro into the idea of how you run a strategy call and what we're trying to do. Now, there's lots of plays here to go into it. And yes, ideally, you're not talking about budgets over the phone with them. You should have done it in pre-selling them in the intake form before you start. Okay, that's really important. This 15 minutes or 20 minutes sometimes call is something you've got to realize that you're not trying to sell to them on the phone. You're just trying to help them to begin with and find out if they're a good fit for you and your business, right? Come across as helpful, come across as salesy, and then draw them into your world. But they should already be pre-sold on your world because they've read your content, they've seen your blogs, they've seen your videos, they've heard your podcasts maybe. Whatever it is, they've heard all these things and they now understand that, hey, yeah, you guys are the right fit for me. I've seen everything. I'm all in. Okay? So just give you an idea of the framework that we're using and trying to use all the time, whether it's on Cricket Matters with our clients or here at Strength Matters. We use strategy calls all the time to help people with their business too, because we want to make sure we want to be the right fit for those guys, and it's a good partnership because it's all about being partnership, in terms of training and in terms of your business too. So let's just do a quick recap. Just a quick recap today. So first of all, we've learned the idea of the free strategy call system. Again, you can dive into your books, guys, and really see this and apply it in your own time. We've learned about the 10 stages of the free strategy call. And also we've talked about the practical way to implement it into your business. We think you should have it if you're a personal training business, have it front and center of your website. Have that as a free strategy call on the front and center of your website. Does it work for other businesses? It depends. If it's a gym, I always say get started on your website, or if it's a healthcare practitioner, maybe a consultation word, but you've got to work out what the words are. But for personal training, the one that converts the highest is book a free strategy call, hands down. Absolutely hands down. So that's what we're trying to do here now. So, can I ask you a question? Do you guys kind of excited about what we've learned today? Have you kind of do you think you can apply it to your business with success? Do you think this is a better non-salesy way to deal with prospects and clients? I hope so. Hopefully you're leaving with a little bit of excitement, like the guy at the start. You're a bit excited by seeing this and learning about this and want to try and apply it to your business. You have the book, you have the framework, so feel free to go ahead and do it. That's my key thing. As always, guys, like I said, we want to keep these webinars kind of short, sweet, and to the point, and full of information that you can use and practical information you can use. So please follow me along, be my friend if you'd like to learn more stuff about what I'm doing or behind the scenes in either guitar playing, cricket playing, or snowboarding. Please check out that. And again, if you haven't done so already, please download this free strategy call playbook. It's got everything in it for you. So go to type this number in your phone, save it as Strength Matters, WhatsApp as playbook, and then download the free strategy guide from there. Or alternatively, go to strengthmatters.com/playbook. So there you have it. There you have it, guys. Thank you very much. Now I'll go into the questions to see if there are any questions today and what's going on. All good from everybody. Hope all the sounds were fine this time, but I hope this made complete sense. Give me a thumbs up if everyone learned something today. Much appreciated if you have done. Or if you have any questions, just leave them in the chat box now. We're here to help you as much as we possibly can. So I'll take a quick sip. You're welcome, Megan. I hope it was useful. I really do hope it was useful. So please apply it. If you've got any questions, just fire away. You can text us on WhatsApp again, because that's like kind of the bat phone essentially for Strength Matters, and also you can message us anytime. So I hope it all worked. Cool. There you go, guys. Well, in that case, as always, ciao for now, as I say, count down, and we'll see you guys on the next video.